All right, kings, queens, outsiders, and in between, welcome back. We've had a crazy week. So much news to cover and so many games to play. Let's get the news out of the way so we can go have some fun. Now, if you had asked me a week ago how I felt about Netflix's acquisition of Warner Brothers for $84 billion, I would have said it was the worst possible outcome for you and I, the consumer. If Netflix wins Warner Brothers, it would establish itself as the winner of the streaming wars. And with no competition, the subscription would undoubtedly double. They would have a complete monopoly over the streaming world. I mean, sure, you'd get your Game of Thrones right next to your Stranger Things, right next to your Friends catalog, but at what price? Like, before you can go whatever studio you want to sell your script, but it's looking more and more likely that you're gonna have to go through Netflix to get your script sold. I'll be fine though, you know, it's a pirate's life for me. And some of you might be thinking, this is clearly a monopoly, isn't this illegal? Shouldn't someone stop this? To which I respond, have you been here in the last year? They just got rid of Lena Khan, and she was the queen of the antitrust. She was the loudest opponent in the room against these corporate monopolies. But now, only a week later, I'm Team Netflix. The newest bid from Paramount was $104 billion cash, and would have far worse repercussions on the back end. Paramount is owned by David Ellison, son of Larry Ellison, second richest man in the world and owner of Oracle. Oracle is kind of one of those shadow companies like BlackRock. You don't really see what they do on the front end, but on the back end, they are puppeteering everything. They hold and sell all your data, sometimes to the NSA. They keep track of your spending habits. They even see those websites that you search in private browsing in incognito mode. You probably heard that the Ellisons are in the midst of purchasing TikTok. And if they succeed in acquiring both companies, the Ellisons would be god kings of the media. Now, it may not seem like a big deal if you read articles. Read. If you do decide to look into Ellisons, you can easily find a few red flags, including their partnerships with the Israeli government. Not to mention that Paramount is only worth about $15 billion. But they put out a bid for $104 billion. So that raises the question, where's the rest of this money come from? I mean, does $1 billion come from anywhere good? A good chunk is going to come from Daddy Ellison. Some of it is going to be raised by Jared Kushner, son-in-law of President Orange, and the rest from a few of the Saudis. Most recently famous for platforming comedians like Pete Davidson, and in dinosaur news, there's some speculation that they may have unalived a few journalists, but that's just politics. Right, Mr. Putin?
That's right, sunshine.
Some of you might still be wondering how this affects you, and let me show you what I mean. So if Netflix was to purchase Warner Brothers, there are some upsides. You'd have Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, DC, all in one place. But it's gonna cost you money. But here's the thing, if Paramount purchases Warner Brothers, Discovery, and TikTok, they get liberal news in its entirety. Now, I'm not gonna choose one side or the other when it comes to politics. I think both make stupid mistakes, and neither one represents my views. However, in politics, it's absolutely necessary to have checks and balances, and that comes through opposition of views and ideals. In any case, we'll all be fine, one way or another. Just keep paying attention. And remember, every day you wake up is a good day. I love you. Until next time.